Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Numbers Post 1975, and buckle up, this is going to be a long one. Now, basically, a couple of years ago I started going through my systems, somewhat my older systems I should say, although I did do it for my Xbox One at the time, and doing a complete listing of every single game I had for that system. Now, you've read the title, but for some reason I forgot to do my Wii. I suspect, looking at how many games I have for it, pushing 80 odd games, and this is not all of them, some of them are still out on loan because of lockdown and stuff like that, some are lost to the sands of time, and some I just don't know where they are in, you know, the various rooms I inhabit in this house. But yeah, I suspect it's probably because it's so huge. However, quite recently, and I'm really sorry that I forget your name, someone said, you know, you never did do your Wii collection. And basically, OCD has kicked in. And the fact that I've had to take a bunch of games out of boxes and storage in the spare room, and some off my shelf, and some off storage in another room. Because, I mean, there is some shovelware, which is a topic I'd like to get to in here, but the majority of them are right, you know, decent games that I'm very much, you know, glad to own and enjoy very much. I think the Wii is a system that gets an unbelievably large amount of flack, and it annoys me. I do a top 10 of games, my favourite 10 games on the Wii. That's in game collections or game videos list, I believe. I'll try and remember to put it in the link in the doohickey down below. But it's a system that I absolutely love, that I bought in 2007, simply because I thought, I was told I'd never be able to buy it, because, you know, early Wii shortages for years was guaranteed Nintendo deliberately, you know, keeping their toy at #1 for Christmas for a couple of years. You know, controlling the market, if you will, controlling numbers. Anyway, so I got one, and then I didn't sell it, I opened it, and I absolutely loved it. It was of the generation of the PlayStation 3, we're talking 7th generation, and Xbox 360, and everyone, you know, hated on it, saying, oh, motion controls, although obviously it was the biggest selling system of that generation. But motion controls, they're a gimmick, and it's not even HD, and it can't keep up with these other two machines. But Nintendo started something that they've since continued with, off the rails a little bit, with the Wii U, which is a system I absolutely love, maybe a video for another day. But the whole point was, you know, it's like why the dinosaurs, you know, died out. You can't just match Brute and Brawn with something else featuring Brute and Brawn. Something has to give out of the three, so they went a different route, and clearly it paid off. What was it, supposedly 1.5 times more powerful than the GameCube? Whoop-de-doo. Although I was always fine with its graphics, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic, especially with component cables. I love the backward compatibility. It made GameCube games look even better. That was a big point for me, even before I soft modded it so I could play import games and use it as an emulation device, which to this day I still do. As a standalone console, the Wii, like the later ones where you didn't have GameCube compatibility and things like that, it's a fantastic system. It's a fantastic system. Prices have gone up because of lockdown, although I managed to bag one for £8 box with all, you know, the guff inside before lockdown happened, you know, really cheap. And I've since software hacked it, because you can now do it by simply setting the internet connection or setting it to your router and then going somewhere else. And there's a video on YouTube for it, and setting it to a location, and it soft mods it for you. It's fantastic. So I will never run out of an emulation device. Anyway, I'm waffling. The point being, all the people complained and said it's a shit machine, underpowered, underrated, no good games. They probably don't own one and or ever played one. And also shovelware. Shovelware's on everything. So I apologise if audio sync loses it on this, but this is going to be a long one. So, where to begin? Just to recap on each and every one of these. Some of these could do with a wipe down. They've been in storage. Some of these, one more thing, one more stipulation. If you're one person who doesn't like people leave stickers on games, you probably don't want to watch this, because I do it, because it really doesn't bother me. Some of these have been on here so long, they're inaccurate for the price I actually paid for them. Some of them have got more stickers from other stores on them simultaneously with the old sticker. And the more people, I'm a dickhead, I know, the more people tell me to take your stickers off, man, it drives me nuts. It doesn't drive me nuts, the more I will leave them on there. Sorry, it's one of my weird little habits and or a guilty pleasure. Anyway, let's jump straight into this. Not going to dwell around too long on each one because this is going to be a whopper. And the video might be quite long too. First one I want to talk about Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I believe this goes for a reasonable amount of dough these days. I got it really cheaply. Basically, it's one of the few good Silent Hill games once you get past the original first two Silent Hill games, because let's be honest, it's just not the franchise it was anymore, though taste is subjective, so your mileage may vary. I like the fact that it does something really, like, a lot different. It has a very unique feel to it. Is it super scary? I would say not. If you love the original style of Silent Hill, possibly not for you, but it's good that they tried something different and unique, and I quite like it, although I've only ever played about 4-ish hours of it, but I do recommend it if you can get it cheap. Medal of Honor Heroes 2, because there was a time when there were no Call of Duty games on the Wii, and I just wanted a decent first-person shooter, and believe it or not, there is no Medal of Honors 1 on the Wii. That's a PSP game, is it? This plays really well, and also you can do something where you can play it as a first-person shooter, or you can revisit the same levels as an on-rails shooter. Controls are super tight for motion controls, and graphically it's a bit of a pub, but it's just super fun, and that's something you need to understand with the Wii, is some games are super fun regardless if they look a bit pants, but then you could argue that's the same on quite a lot of systems. Star Trek Conquest, I picked this up super cheap. Here we go, an example, $3.99. I never paid $3.99 for it. I paid £1 for it at a charity shop because I quite like the idea of dogfighting strategy style with various enterprises and shit like that, which is apparently what it is. I've just never got around to playing it. I have got round to playing this, and this is absolutely fantastic. Look at that, it's got a Comet price on the front to show you how old it is, and a charity shop 99p price on the back. We're all familiar with the behemoth that is Lego video games, but they began with Star Wars, and they began with this. One was the original, no, was the sequels, prequels. I do not accept the existence of the sequels. Let's never speak of those again. The prequel trilogies, and then the second one was the original movies, and this is both of them all shiny and fantastic put into one. It's still pretty much the best Star Wars game you can play. It looks exactly the same as all the other versions on this format. It's just not obviously HD, but I sunk so much of my life into this on the GameCube, and now that I have it all in one shiny complete package, I dabble with it from time to time to eventually complete it in its entirety and unlock everything, which is probably going to take a while because that's what it is. It's a grinder. Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles, when everyone was screaming there are no adult games on the Wii, we got this very shiny, nice looking on-rails shooter that's absolutely balls-horrifically hard and jumps between various entries into the Resident Evil franchise. It's fantastic. So you jump between, what is it in this one? Is it Resident Evil 0, 2? Maybe not 2, 2 is the second one. Yeah, but it jumps between, and so you get really like iconic levels to it from certain other Resident Evil games and characters, but you get to explore it in a on-rails first-person, Sean Connery, gun shooter. This is amazeballs. Batman the Brave and the Bold, the video game based on my favourite Batman cartoon ever, because it was clearly aimed at kids as well as adults and had a fantastic sense of humour, and it was like the 60s Brave and the Bold title where you would team up with a different superhero each week, and it was so funny. And this, you can, this is brilliant. It's all hand drawn. It looks absolutely amazing and it plays fantastically. It's just a side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it's super polished. But you can also connect it to a DS and have someone else play along with you. Again, that price isn't accurate, but this, you should get this. Definitely get this. You should not get this. This is shit. This is an on-rails shooter. This is shit. I bought it for £1. I don't think a charity shop would even take it. Moving on. This, Mario Strikers Charge Football, which is basically the GameCube version with the Wii controls, I believe. I don't have it on the GameCube, but super fun football game with interesting motion controls. It's all cartoony and stuff like that. Again, this price isn't accurate, but it's still worth that. It's all cartoony and stuff like that, as you expect with Mario. Don't take it too seriously, but it does play a nice competitive fun game of football, and it looks and plays absolutely fantastic. What do I need to say about this, apart from obviously it needs a wash? I got multiple copies of this. It's Mario Kart. It's Mario Kart on the Wii. It's absolutely fantastic and phenomenal, and there are servers still running for it from people, you know, who provide their own tracks and edits for it. Basically, yeah, it's Mario Kart on the Wii. You need this. Sort your life out. Don't need this. Tenchu Shadow Assassins. I love Tenchu on the PlayStation. It was absolutely amazing and fantastic. And then it never really returned to its dizzying heights. So when this came out, because again it came out at a time when I had it, my original Wii, which is still my current Wii, to be fair. When it was originally released, we were like, yes, we're going to get a proper adult, nasty, gory, ninja arcade fighty game. And basically after level 1, it just becomes balls-horrifically hard, which is a shame, and has a few kind of gameplay problems and issues and shit like that, which is a shame because it looks fantastic. Ooh, we're 10 in. Tron Evolutions Battle Grids. Released at the same time as Tron Evolution, was it? I don't know. This is Evolution. Tron, the second Tron movie with the weird old CG'd, what's his name? I'm terrible at this. You know the one I mean. Basically, a Tron sequel, what? 20, 30 years after the original Tron, which I love. And I did actually really like the sequel, but you go back into the grid to find your dad. It's a collection of mini-games. You've got light cycles, disc battles, stuff like that. The light cycles in this are absolutely amazing. It's completely different to the 360 and the PlayStation 3 versions. And again, inaccurate, you can get this for £1, even less. I recommend this. It's a bunch of cool little mini-games that look great, especially the light cycles, play fantastically, and it's Tron. Jeff Bridges, thank you, Brain. Then we have Back to the Future, the game, the point and click game that I only got on the Wii because back then I didn't have, did I have a 360 when this was first released? I don't know, but it may have been quite expensive at that point, or may have only been on PlayStation, I think it was only on PlayStation 3, and it's now the Xbox One that it's on that I have, but, so this was the only way I could play this game. Basically, it's a terrible version of a fantastic game, point and click, episodic, Back to the Future, great voice acting, great story, looks shit on the Wii, and you play it with motion controls and they don't play fantastically, but I would recommend it if you have no other way to play this, because this was the only way I could play it. Need for Speed Carbon, it's a Need for Speed game on the Wii. What is it? Basically, it's a pretty good for the Wii looking racer, and yeah, is this the one? This is the one with motion controls. Some of these have motion controls, you have to go like that, and it's absolutely god awful, and I'm pretty sure this is it, which is a shame. So skip over this one, because it looks nice, could play nice if it had proper controls, which some of these do. But yeah, so Need for Speed Carbon. I've got gameplays for a shitload of Wii games. Endless Ocean. This is fantastic. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Just swim around underwater once you've done like all your learning and stuff like that. An incredibly relaxing and tranquil environment. Basically exploring the sea, seeing fishies and shit, looking for treasure. It's one of those games that on paper sounds like it's shit, but it's absolutely fantastic. I think this is the cheap one, and it's the second one, which is the expensive one, which I also have thanks to a charity shop that didn't know what they were selling. This is an absolutely fantastic one. Arcade Hits Pack. It's Gunblade New York and LA Machine Guns. One is the original, and the other one is a sequel. Basically, it's Sega arcade board 3 stuff. It's, you know, like Virtua Fighter, but obviously improved graphics. Sort of game. I mean, if you like Virtua Fighter, you'll like this. I have a gameplay of it. I love it. I love me some chunky, old school, blocky Sega shooters. Then we have another Need for Speed Nitro. This actually has the full array of, you can use it with the wheel. GameCube pad, ew. Use it with the nunchuck, alright. And it's just basically a Need for Speed game. That's all I can say about these Need for Speed games. They're not as deep and as involved. They're not completely linear, but they're not as deep, linear I should say, as involved as the you know, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox ones. But yeah, fun Need for Speed game. Get on that. Now, a bloke used to come around the pub selling knockoff Wii games in a suitcase. And I used to buy them. And because you could get titles that weren't necessarily out at the time. And I'll show you the quality he put into his cover up. No, that's not Wet that's done that I've done. That's because that's what he thought was acceptable to put it in. But it was a couple of quid. And yeah, No More Heroes 2. The blood is back this time. Absolutely fantastic game. Looks amazing. Very tongue-in-cheek. Super, super customizable. You lose the overworld head map thing, drive around like, you know, Grand Theft Auto, which was no point in the first game anyway, because ultimately never achieved anything. Going after all the other, I can't remember, bounty hunters, whatever. But yeah, it's super stylized, it's great graphics, it's third person, ultra violent, killing loads of people, then having a boss fight. What's not to like about that? Iron Man, yeah, PlayStation 2 ports. A lot of these will be PlayStation 2 ports. A lot won't. You can clearly give this one a miss. There's nothing redeemable about this, even though it cost me 99p. I was bored. I had a quid in my pocket. I felt like playing something else. Coincided with the original movie, so that gives you an age of this game. It's crap. It's Sega and it's crap. This is obviously a personal taste thing. Rock Band. I don't think there are many other games in his pile anymore for the fad that was Guitar Hero and Rock Band. It passed on by. And I had a bunch of them and traded them in. So this collection's also missing stuff like there is no Twilight Princess in here because I got rid of it when I got it for my Wii in HD. And there is no Skyward Sword because that's a game that's MIA at the moment, which sucks. But anyway, AC/DC Live Rock Band. I like AC/DC. That's why I bought it. If you like AC/DC, buy this. It's Rock Band. You can pretend to be Angus Young. There you go. Job's a good one, if you like that sort of thing. Mario Tennis. Port of the GameCube version. Basically, like I said with the football. It's a cartoon Mario-esque version made for kids, but adults compete it as well. Super stylized version of tennis where this time you use the motion controls and they work really, really, really well. Definitely recommend this. That was £2. That's an accurate price. Madden 09 All Play. The All Play series was stuff to make their sports games more accessible. It worked for stuff like FIFA and Tiger Wood. No, Madden on the Wii just doesn't work. I don't know what it is. Motion controls and shit. I like American football games. I stay away from them on the Wii. I think I bought this out of curiosity. Like when you pass a car that's crashed on the motorway, you can't take your eye off it. That morbid curiosity. Yeah, don't bother with that. Do bother with this, but don't bother with it for the game because it's the PlayStation 2 version, which is an alright game. It's no Staff of Kings on the original Xbox, but it's an indie game. We like an indie game, but it's completely and utterly ruined with motion controls where you have to fight. Basically, you'll be absolutely shagged and suffering from cramp after one fight. Shame, because otherwise it could have been good. However, you do get Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis point and click Lucas adventure on this when you find one icon, hidden icon that's on the first level and literally just whip some fucking foliage and there it is, pick it up, go to the main menu and play that game in its entirety. It's worth it for that. Worth it for anything else as a standalone game? No, because the motion controls make it rubbish. This is one of a duplicate. I can't remember if this is the American version or the European version. Dead Rising, all I'm going to say is go to my many Dead Rising videos, go to my top 10 favourite Wii games. This is my favourite Wii game, absolutely love this. Stuck in a mall with, people hate on this, stuck in a mall with guns that don't break, Dawn of the Dead, that's all you need to know. Seriously, go and check out my my gameplays of it, I'll explain it a little bit better. Best version of Skate ever, seriously. Alright, so there's no one in your city, which they explain by saying it's had a natural disaster, and the ending, sorry, spoilers, explains it further by showing a comet about to hit the city, hand-drawn graphics like on notepaper, and Godzilla running after you on a skateboard. This is Skate It, because you have flick it controls. What was it on the 360? The great games on the 360, don't get me wrong, but I loved this. I sank so much of my life into this, completed it, achieved absolutely everything on it. I sunk my life into this in 2008. Thoroughly recommend it. My favourite skateboarding game of all time on any system. Super, super cheap. And it's balance board compatible, which is something you really don't want to try on it. First are the proper Call of Duty games, the ones that were on the 360 and the PlayStation 3. Call of Duty World at War. Basically, it features an extremely crude, low-resolution engine from the other two versions, but that aside, it's fully, graphically it's taken a massive downhaul, but yeah, I bought this when it first came out brand new and loved it, and yeah, had online as well. This is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. World at War, not just this version, all versions are one of my favourite, let's say Need for Speed, Call of Duty games. Absolutely fantastic. Seriously, if you love Call of Duty and you have a Wii, get this. If you're thinking of getting a Wii and you love Call of Duty, get this. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to insert a cut here, to possibly circumvent any loss of audio syncage. Told you this was going to be a long one. I got this for Christmas from my parents using my discount when it was double discount, so 20% off at the place I work. The price on the back of this is not accurate because I've since replaced it because I sold it at the time for some stupid reason, and I've gone back and bought it again, and that would be New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Amazing. Amazing, looks fantastic. 4-player, simultaneous. You have to use your Wiimote sideways like a NES pad, which is stupid because obviously a NES pad is ergonomically designed to fit in your hands properly and not be a big fat thing with a speaker in it and limited gyroscopes. That's the only thing that lets it down, but you do get used to it, and also having to do that to do some of your moves. But yeah, extremely good fun, extremely good looking, polished, modern Mario game. Obviously kind of a direct follow-up to the one that was originally on the DS that brought Mario back into this. Look, we're doing an old school Mario game with much better shiny graphics, but it'll still be 2D. Yeah, so it was kind of the return on the actual main consoles and not handhelds of the 2D Mario game. This is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Once you get mid to later levels, it becomes balls-horrific. That was just me making sure it was in there. It becomes balls-horrifically hard, but I thoroughly recommend that. Get on that. I prefer that to Mario Bros. U. Controversial. FIFA 13. All the FIFA games, they are what they are. They're quite good fun. On the Wii, they look like PlayStation 2 games. Some, you can play all of them with the remotes, with somewhat limited motion controls. They are not like PES. But you can also play them with a control pad. And they're all super, super, super cheap. And basically, I would recommend them. But if you like a proper football game, I need to separate these out. We're only, what are we in? We're not even 25 in. You want a proper football game, you go with any of the Pro Evolution Soccer games apart from the first one, for motion controls. The reason I soft modded my Wii, because of some exclusivity deal between Sony owning Columbia, when Ghostbusters was released on Blu-ray and the game came out on the PlayStation 3 360, and Wii owners had to wait for it in this country, but not in North America. So I remember saying to my friend at work when we left on a Friday, and because I was expecting it to come out, I didn't do my homework. I said, I will find a way to play this game. I don't know why I spoke like William Shatner, but apparently I did back then. And then the next time I saw him, he said, did you do it? I said, soft modded my Wii. It was a piece of piss. I have a whole bunch of games coming in from North America. Basically, PlayStation 2 version. I love the cartoony graphics, but you use your Wiimote as your Proton wand, and it really does feel like you got a Proton wand. Voice actors of the original movies. I think it's great graphics for a cartoon. I actually prefer this to the other versions, even though I have the remastered version on the Xbox One. I do prefer this style of graphics. Fantastic, fantastic story, but the controls, Wiimote motion controls that haven't just been tacked on, that's where it's at, and that's why you want this. And it's super cheap. I saw it at a charity shop the other day for 50p. Wii Sports Resort, essentially a tech demo, but once they added the extra gyroscopes to the Wii unit, which was actually like a plug-in, felt like a Johnny with a bunch of marbles at the bottom, wasn't it, that you put your Wii in. Once you added that to it, you got what we were always promised with the Wiimote, but basically archery in this, I became addicted to archery, just amazing. And fencing in this is alright. Anything else on it particularly good? No, not really, but this came bundled with the Motion Plus, which now just comes built into the actual unit itself. But it's just a tech demo. I would say the original Wii Sports, even though it's not as accurate with its limited motion controls, is more fun. But you know, that's the one that came bundled with mine. SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. That's alright. There were better wrestling games. Pretty much every game on the fucking Nintendo GameCube and PlayStation 2 was a better wrestling game than this. But you know what, it's fun, it's a quid. Can't really talk more about it because I played it for an hour before I got bored and went back to the wrestling games I have on my GameCube. Endless Ocean 2. £3, charity shop, more of the same. Just swimming around, chilled out, looking for shit underwater. Can't explain it unless you played it. You won't know what the charm is of this game. It's just a very, very nice experience. I think this is quite expensive. I got it for £3 from a charity shop. So at least, you know, little baby starving kids got some money thanks to me. Another version of Dead Rising. Can't remember if this is the American or this is the European version. But again, see what I said last time. Thoroughly recommended. Samba de Amigo. Is this a Sega? Is this a follow-up to the Dreamcast one or something else? Or was it on the GameCube? I don't know. I bought it because that's an accurate price. It's $149, and you don't have drums in this. You use the motion controls, and therefore I could never ever get on with it. So I don't know. Maybe you love it. Good for you. Can't play it with motion controls, and I'm someone who loves motion controls. House of the Dead. overkill. Basically, it's a more grown-up entry into the House of the Dead series, loaded with innuendos, foul language, done like a grindhouse movie. It really, really is. It's the dialogue is in vein of the original, but really makes it proper more movie feel. And basically, at a time when there were everyone's going, there's no dirty, nasty, violent, horrible adult games on the Wii. This came out and blew everyone away. Well deserved. It's fucking amazing, this game, and it's like a quid. Get it. And it was ported to 360 and PlayStation 3. How rude of me, dropping from the image. Yeah, get it. Seriously, get it. Super cheap gem. WWE 12. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever played this. I will put that in a pile over here so I can play it. Tomb Raider Anniversary port the PlayStation 2 with Wiimote controls. Really pissed off. This was a game that came with my original Wii when I bought it, and I couldn't get on with the controls. Not just because I was a noob at motion controls, but they were fucking awful. Bought it again out of curiosity because it looks fantastic. Obviously, it's the first game done shiny and like nice graphics and stuff. But it looks fantastic, but they've really ballsed the motion controls on this. Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil game from the GameCube. That price isn't accurate either because Pink Planet don't exist anymore. But yeah, also their archives, yeah, it's like their budget version, but for Resident Evil games. So the box art on this is shit. I have it on the GameCube, so maybe I didn't have it on the GameCube at the time that I bought this. But box art alone, shit. Can play it with a GameCube pad. It's Resident Evil. It looks absolutely amazing, this version of the game. It's like an HD version of Resident Evil before there were HD versions of Resident Evil. Mouthful. Get on it. Bit pricey these days, I think. Well, a bit pricey, like a 5 to 10er. I remember what a big deal this was when it came out. It came out after World at War. Everyone said, you'll never... We got this when they got Modern Warfare 2. On the other systems, which I actually had a 360 at the time, but I had to get this for the Wii. Obviously the graphics take a massive down hit, but the motion controls on this game are superb. Honestly, I still play this on a regular basis. I play it on my Wii, so it's all nice and upscaled and stuff like that, but it looks absolutely fantastic for a Wii game, but it's how it plays that's amazing. I prefer the controls in this to the pad versions any day of the week, but you can play this with a pad if you want. Don't. Colin McRae Dirt 2. You can play it with the classic controller. You don't have to play it with motion controls. You can if you want to. Why you want to, I don't know. I don't know if this is a PlayStation 2 port, but this is a really fun rally game. Doesn't look amazing. Looks about a PlayStation 2 game, but it's a good fun rally game, and it's like 50p. Favourite Call of Duty ever on any version. Black Ops. You will never get a single player campaign as good as this again. This is amazing, and much like Modern Warfare, and also we got to remember for the hardware it's running on, this looks absolutely fantastic. But much like Modern Warfare, the controls are utterly amazing. Even has the hidden little game when you're like strapped down and drugged up. Sorry, spoilers on the title screen. And look, they stole that image from Tropic Thunder, didn't they? Or copied that image. Yeah. Is this my Portuguese version or my English version? I have two. Look, Portuguese, English. Didn't know it was Portuguese when I bought it from Cash Converters until I tried to play it, because you can't play it in anything but Portuguese. Who knew there was a Portuguese only version of Call of Duty Black Ops? Well, there is, and this isn't it. That's it. Never mind. Get this. This is amazing. This was bargain of the week. I had this back in the day and I sold it, and I don't know why I sold it, because since then it went through the roof in price. I then downloaded it when it was in the shop on my Wii U, and that would be Metroid Prime Trilogy. Then I found it for, have a look at that. What is that? Is that 99p? I can't, yeah, 99p. 99p. Metroid Prime Trilogy for 99p. Doesn't have the sleeve that goes around the outside. Basically, they reworked the two GameCube games on, I mean, what's this go for now? 40 quid? Alright, I don't have the sleeve. The two GameCube games and gave them motion controls, and they bang on Metroid Prime 3, which was it a launch title on the Wii? I don't know. I got it with mine and it looked absolutely fantastic. These are basically three of the best games on this system. Everyone said, how do you do a Metroid game in 3D? And they answered it, and it's amazing. Star Wars The Clone Wars, I should say, was like, this is going to be utterly fantastic because we're going to get motion controls. It's going to be just like fighting with a real lightsaber. Shame, because it's not. If it was motion plus, it would have been fantastic because it looks phenomenal. and it's the Clone Wars. So yeah, big go with that. It's a bit shit. Wouldn't recommend it. Star Wars fan before the Kennedy era, before the Dark Time, before the Empire, I should say. But yeah, if it just had proper motion controls. Speaking of motion controls, this was never one of the hooky ones. You can tell from the bloke who came around the pub with a suitcase. Punch Out in 3D, Punch Out with motion controls. It feels very much like a drumming game. You don't really have to sit there and throw jabs. You can just sit there and go like that, like you're drumming. But fucking amazing graphics. Presentation of this is just superb. I have gameplays on this. Basically, it's Punch Out reimagined for the modern day, even though it's now what? 11, 12, 13 years old. We need a new Punch Out game, even though I don't own a Nintendo console. If they did a new Punch Out game, I might own a Nintendo console again. Punch Out, Wii, get it, fantastic. Super cheap, I believe. We're back to Hooky Town. Resident Evil The Dark Side Chronicles. He really didn't take pride in his work, did he? But, you know, super cheap 12, 13, 14 years ago. Like Dark Side Chronicles, this one is basically most of the stuff from Resident Evil 2. So if you want to go through the police station and parts of Resident Evil 2 in a first-person on-rail shooter, this is for you. Looks fantastic. It's an on-rail shooter. What do you want from me? Same as House of the Dead. Best version of Resident Evil ever. Take Resident Evil 4. I think it's the PlayStation 2 version, this, is it? Or is it the GameCube version? I don't know. And they give it motion controls, and you can't go back to playing with a pad after this. Picking people off with your gun with a motion control, and this is phenomenal. Looks great. So much cool stuff in here, you know. Just it's Resident Evil. It's gory, it's violent, it's got amazing puzzles, it's fun, twists, turns all over the shop, people getting their heads cut off with chainsaws, amazing motion controls, super cheap, 99p. Get on that. Another one that takes motion controls before Motion Plus and delivers. Star Wars, Force Unleashed. You really, see, there are two of these. I have the second one. You're the bloke, you're voiced by, and you have the likeness of the bloke from Being Human, the US version. I forget his name. But Sam something. But yeah, this was canon. Lucas made this canon. This had a whole story written that Disney and since then dropped, which annoys, so we won't get the third one. But using the motion controls in this graphically, it's brilliant. I don't think it's a PlayStation 2 port. Each version, apart from the 360 and the PS3, which is essentially the same, played to the strengths of the system and had different bonus material. This had a one-on-one fighting arena. PSP had bonus levels around the original movies, and I don't know what PlayStation 2 had, but the way you do force powers in this, picking up stuff, throwing stuff, zapping people, lightsabers, more so cracking stone statues, flinging it at people. Utterly amazeballs. What's not an amazeballs? Castlevania Judgment. Let's make a one-on 3D fighting game with large arenas where your various Castlevania characters and verge with massive tits that wobble like it's fucking dead or alive. No, Konami, no. What were you thinking? Also, I think it's a PlayStation 2 version, launch title with motion controls tacked on. Cannot get past the first level. The other Call of Duty games I've talked about in this video, amazing. This cannot get past the first level. It sucks. It's shit. I'm going to insert another cut. Sure. Here's a cool one on the subject of first-person shooters. I remember what a big deal this was when it came out, and I bought it on launch, and I loved it, and I still love it, and that would be GoldenEye 007, a retelling of GoldenEye, the movie, not a remake of the N64 game, ironically, which is out there now. Not officially, but you know what I mean. With Daniel Craig and what's her name who plays Dame Judi Dench reprising, taking the roles over from basically the Bond and the M in this movie, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's got multiplayer, it's got online, not so much anymore obviously, and I loved it. For a Wii game it looks stunning, and I sank a ton of my life into the multiplayer on this and just loved it because it was an exclusive. It's on the 360, I have it, but I've never played it. I think it's called Reloaded or Redux, I don't know, but this was fantastic. Sorry, Windy Pops, I'm not even eating. Look great, play great. I wouldn't say it plays as quite as tight as the Call of Duty games, but super cheap now. I think the problem it was, the backlash was, it was kind of marketed as GoldenEye is back. They literally marketed it like that. But it's not GoldenEye. But it's a GoldenEye, and it's definitely recommended from me. On the subject of not recommended, what did I pay for this? £1, accurate price. I hate the movie, but I love Wolverine. I love the 360 version, so I thought I'd give this a go. Yeah, the less said about that, the better. Shit controls, shit graphics. which ties us nicely in for the next one. Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, a very, very early Wii release with very shite box art. I have a gameplay of this. Is unlisted. I've never made it listed because after I played it, I had to shower and felt deeply ashamed of myself. Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. It's a motion control only slalom downhill racing game. No stunts as such like that. Don't think your traditional Tony Hawk games. Think, yay, I'm going downhill really fast. Woo, I've fallen over. Can't be asked to get up. I think I'll turn the console off. That's pretty much the most accurate review you'll ever see of it. I think this goes for reasonable money now. Mr. Bean's Wacky World of Wii. Ignore the shite title. It's a 3D exploration very much aimed at kids game based on the cartoon adventures of Mr. Bean. I was going to say Mr. Wii. Apologies if you can hear my dog. She will literally bark at a leaf falling off a tree. It is what it is. It's aimed at kids. It's a very simple 3D exploration. Think kind of like Rugrats on the PlayStation. But you know what? It's fun. If you've got kids, let them play it. I just bought it because I didn't know there was a Mr. Bean game. I don't think I've got that much shovelware actually, have I? I shouldn't have said that. You decide. Price, inaccurate. They don't exist anymore. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Kind of a watered down version like it is on the 360, which was amazing. I got that for free with Coke ring pulls back in the day. This is one of the better, you can tell the better Need for Speed games on it. It looks really, really nice for a Wii game because they give the option to play it with everything. If it gives you the option to play it with everything, you can tell that EA have taken some time. Looks right, plays really, really well. There is multiplayer. I thoroughly, 4-player, in fact, thoroughly recommend this. Quantum of Solace. Disc won't stay in the tray. Quantum of Solace, basically, it's the end of Casino Royale, and the rest of it is Quantum of Solace, and it looks pants, but it's running on a low-res Call of Duty engine, whereas the 360 and PlayStation 3 were running on a Call of Duty high-res engine. You got third-person shielding, or cover mechanics, I should say. First-person shooting. The first time I bought this, I took it back to the supermarket the same day and thought it was shit. Just looked awful and stuff like that, and the controls were shit. Then, to make up the 4 for whatever it was from the bloke who came around the pub with him in the suitcase, I just grabbed it. Cover looks right on this one. If you tweak the controls, take a while to tweak the controls, it plays amazingly, and I absolutely loved it. Plays amazingly. Amazing first-person shooter. Probably as good as Modern Warfare if you tweak the controls. Graphically, though, bit of a pup. DNA Impact. I think this was a quid. I think this is a PlayStation 2 port, and I think he took that guy's wallet. I don't think I played this. Are we announcing a trend here? I just don't play these games because none of them are anywhere near as good as all the wrestling games on the original GameCube. Force Unleashed 2. It's great. It's a really, really fun game. There's the cliffhanger at the end, which I won't ruin, which we'll never get a response to thanks to Disney fucking up Star Wars. Yeah, it's fantastic. The story is amazing. Your force powers, though, are not as fun to use. They're still there. They're still essentially the same powers. They're just not as refined or as fun to use as they are in the original game. But the visuals in this for a Wii game are they're something else. They're shiny and fantastic and truly superb. Tatsunoko versus Capcom, the Japanese version. There was a UK version released a year or so, maybe 18 months later. Again, why do I have windy pops? I've not even had breakfast. That was an animation studio, and it's versus Capcom. And it was an arcade machine. And I imported this because there were no Street Fighter fighting games or anything like this on the Wii at the time, and I don't know if it was Street Fighter 4 was out on the 360 or stuff like that, or it's a question of they just got their Street Fighter 2 HD, you know, through Xbox Live and stuff like that, Xbox Arcade, and so I found this by accident on my Tinterweb travels and imported it, and it's fucking amazing, and it's one of my favourite fighters of all time. Get this over the UK version, because the UK version replaces a bunch of the animation studio Tatsunoko's characters with stuff like Frank West from Dead Rising. Don't get me wrong, I love that game. It's my favourite Wii game, but I don't want him as a playable character with like a Lego head on, because obviously licensing rules in this country. But being too expensive to get those studios. This is, yeah, this is fantastic. Thoroughly recommended. It's cheap if you want to get the UK one, but you don't. You want to get this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up. Basically, it's a side-scrolling 3DS 2.5 more so. No, it's not. It's more of a 3D, very limited, you know, restricted fighting exploration game. I think I'm thinking of the same one. No, wait! Sorry, that one's not in this pile because I couldn't find it. This is basically Smash Brothers with turtles. Yeah, now I've remembered what it is. Get this. This is brilliant fun. I've got a gameplay of this. This is Smash Brothers with the turtles. Looks fantastic. All your favourite characters are in it. You know, it's kind of like from the Nickelodeon era. But yeah, this is Smash Brothers with the turtle. Get it. The other one I'm thinking of is the shit Nickelodeon movie that came out before then, which is like a side-scrolling adventure which you want to give a miss to. Driver. Parallel parallel lines. Sorry. This is awesome. This is absolutely fantastic. It's basically that whole two mechanics, two time zones, flipping in and out because you were in a coma and you wake up in the future, but there's old stuff in the 70s. Plays a lot like, kind of looks a lot like, only on the Wii with shiny graphics. The original PlayStation version felt like, you know, the overall film, like the exploration of the city and stuff like that, and definitely far better than the stuff that was released on the 360. This needs a white. This is in a box as well. Price is inaccurate too. On the 360 and PlayStation 3. Super Smash Brothers. Yeah, I prefer this to the Wii U version, and I prefer this to. Sorry, spoilers. I know everyone loves the GameCube version. I know that's the one that, and the N64 one are the one that people use for tournaments and stuff like that. But I like this. I like this because you could be Solid Snake in it. It's got a whole extra exploration type game which is ultimately still fighting and stuff like that. Never played a Smash Brothers game when I first got this, and yeah, it's awesome, and you can play it with pads. So I'm not doing Smash Brothers any sort of, you know, justice when I talk about this, but a whole bunch of Nintendo characters, a whole bunch of characters from other franchises. You know what it is, but this was probably the most refined and best looking version of it, with a couple of things in the gameplay that led people to not want to play it. Over the previous ones, this is another hooky one, Pro Evolution Soccer 2009. I don't know where one I got the other day was, which is the last one they made on the Wii, because, right, you can play this with a pad. This is the North American box art, so it doesn't show you. You can play this with a pad, but you want to play it with a motion control. It's honestly, get used to it. It's fantastic. Pointing, dragging, shooting like that. Controller, you've got access to every player on the field at once. It plays amazing. That's why I recommend this over FIFA on the Wii. This stuff is amazing. Any Pro Evolution Soccer game apart from the first one, because they were feeling their way. It's still good. They were feeling their way. Recommend the last one, which is 2012, I think. Maybe 2013. It's got Ronaldo on the front, but don't hate it for that reason. Yeah, I don't know where it is, but I put it on Facebook so people know I've got it. I think I may have lent that to someone as well. Oh, but yeah, honestly, the Pro Evolution Soccer games on the Wii are absolutely amazing. Mad World, 3D, black and white, kind of noir-esque, super stylized. Your bloke voiced by Bender, and what's this, Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Look, everywhere it is, it's super, super, super cheap, super violent. I mean, super violent. It's not deep, it's not anything. It came out around about the same time as Dead Rising and House of the Dead, and everyone's just like, yay, we got adult games with the Wii, yay, and shit like that. But it's not deep, it's not anything. It's just super polished and fun, because you can rip people's heads off, their spines out, cut them in half with a chainsaw. Why would you not want to do that? You're an adult, doesn't mean you're going to do it in real life. Captain America, Super Soldier, a very poor, I don't know if it's a PlayStation 2 port, probably not at that point, based on the first movie, which I love, the first Avenger, but yeah, you're Captain America in World War II. Clunky controls, clunky graphics, could play as Captain America. I liked it, and it was cheap. Harvest Moon, Magical Melody. I've never played it. I think I paid that for it, and that apparently was a good price, because the person at the time who I was with told me, I don't know why I talk like Mike Tyson, and who I was with told me, get it, and it's an RPG, is it? I just find it very intimidating, but we'll put it with the games I should play. Drawn to Life. Had this on the DS, loved it. My character was a hand-drawn version of Spider-Man I made. So I loved it so much, I thought I'd give this a go. And then I'm trying to draw and shit with the remote so utterly, unbelievably clunky and shit that this could be the best game in the world. And it got good reviews. I gave up on it. Medal of Honor Vanguard, a port of the PSP game, not a sequel to Heroes or anything like that, and you can tell because Heroes is fantastic on the Wii, this is awful. It's £1 I'm never getting back. Need for Speed Undercover on the Wii. There you go. This is a great game. This is an absolutely fantastic game. Again, look, proper Need for Speed game because you can use everything. Looks really nice for a Wii game. Like, yeah, it's the Undercover series. You know what the Undercover series is. It plays pretty much the same as and has somewhat similar story to the Undercover series. I don't know why I looked in it on the 360 and the PlayStation 3. You know, I thought I had the. I don't. Do not. I may not even have all the games in here. Sorry. Monster Hunter 3 Try, the UK version. I actually imported the Japanese version just so I could see. I couldn't play. I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. How good it looked, because it was phenomenal. And at the time, it caused a whole shitstorm that it wasn't coming out, because it was a series of titles exclusive to PlayStation 2, I believe, and maybe PSP, and all the 360, and I was one at the time, and PlayStation 3 people lost their shit going, oh my god, it's going to be on the Wii, it can't do it justice, it's going to be pants. I have no idea why I scratched my chest then, apologies. And then it came out and it looked fucking insane. So I imported a Japanese version just to fumble around and see how good it looked, and it looked fucking insane. It plays amazingly. You know what Monster Hunter Try is. It's a remastered HD version, is on the Wii U, which I also have, but this game is phenomenal. Where is my Japanese version then? Who knew? That means I could probably do an additional log for this video of titles I forgot. Don't worry, I'm not going to. Pandora's Tower. Came across this super cheap. I've no idea what it is. I still haven't played it. I should get round to doing that, because apparently this goes for a fortune, and I got it, I can't remember. I certainly didn't pay more than a tenner, or I may have been sent it. It was a while ago. I can't honestly remember, but I know I know it pretty much didn't cost me anything really. So yeah, that will go over shit. If anyone knows anything about this, again, it's sometimes titles like this, when they're like the expensive ones that everyone goes on about, I just find them a little bit intimidating to jump into. Never said I had played everything in here. Came out when the Disney movie came out. Utterly fantastic. I love it. I had the 360 version, prefer this to it. I think it's so much better, so much more fun to climb. Looks stunning. It's just amazing control. Get this. And the original Prince of Persia, you know, like the Apple II version, is hidden in it. Get it. Looks phenomenal for a Wii game. Better than the not better graphics than the 360 and PlayStation 3 version. A better playing game. Darts. I mean, if you want to be fat, drink a massive amount of alcohol, and throw projectile weapons at a board using motion controls, this is for you. To be fair, it's fun. I got it because accurate price. It was £1, but I would recommend it. I have a gameplay video of it, but it's unlisted. Maybe I'll make it live. I don't know. Anyway, there are about 10 games I believe I'm missing. But the last one, Super Mario All-Stars 25th Anniversary. I just invented a new word just for you lovely people. Anniversary Edition. Basically, it's the Super Nintendo version of the kind of 16-bit versions of the original 8-bit Mario, Mario 2, Mario Lost Levels, Super Mario Brothers 3. Comes with an audio CD and comes with a book. And this is quite expensive now, but the thing is, they could have given us Super Mario Brothers 4, because there was a version of that on the SNES, and that should have been this version for the 25th anniversary. And haven't they, it was a fucking cash-in. I have it because I love Mario. And I got this for a super cheap price, because I never had it when it first came out, because I remember thinking, I ain't paying full price for that. I'll just fucking emulate it, because it is, for what it is, it's a cash-in by Nintendo, but they are very good at that. They are cheap and nasty when it comes to their cash-ins and making moolah. But haven't they since done this again on the Switch or the 3D? I don't know. By all means, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, if you like the Mario games, you'll love it. But don't pay a big fat premium for it, because it really isn't worth it, even if you get everything with it. Sorry, windy pumps. And with that, barring or so about maybe 10 titles, this is every single game I have on the Wii. I think, to be fair, I don't have that much shovelware in here, and yeah, it's one of my favourite consoles of all time. There's some amazing games in here, granted, because they're so cheap, I've just kept adding to a collection and not necessarily refining it, but that's the charm and the fun of the Wii, because it's still incredibly cheap. Not so much the system because of lockdown. But yeah, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Thank you for sitting through this video. I've tried to go through it as quickly as I can. I do apologise. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you have the Wii and you have any of these titles. And do you think it's a machine that just does not get the love it deserves outside of homebrew? Because it's so easy to hack. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you later.